Spring is approaching.
Holy moly!
And with it, the threat of breaking weather.
There it is. There it is.
Tornadoes.
Unbelievable, unbelievable for it to come and do this much in such short time.
Thunderstorms, flooding, even wildfires in this severe drought.
It's going to end up being a total loss.
Fox 23 is helping you and your family prepare.
You should take your tornado precautions right now.
Keeping you ahead of the storm. This is a Fox 23 Breaking Weather Special. On Fox 23 News right now.
3 people killed, still no arrests, and a community on edge. Tonight, calls for calm. Support system, Oklahoma soldiers sharing their war stories as they work to heal hidden wounds. Scammed out of big bucks, a con man rips off a grandmother. Rotten eggs, pushy parents blamed for canceled Easter egg hunts.
Breaking news, breaking weather, and your complete forecast in the first 10 minutes. This is Fox 23 News at 10.
And we begin at 10 with continuing coverage of a shooting spree that took the lives of 3 people. That happened in a span of about 7 hours, starting around 1 this morning in North Tulsa. 2 others were hit. Police have identified now the people who were killed as Danier Fields, Bobby Clark, and William Allen. They were all shot within a 5-mile area. The big question, were they random shootings or something more? Now, here's what we do know. Police are looking for a man seen driving a white pickup. We also know each victim was walking alone at the time. As you can imagine, people in North Tulsa are on edge. We have team coverage tonight with Dante Carter hearing from the NAACP. But we begin with Brittany Jeffers and an increased police presence because of what's happened, Brittany. Next at 10, children missing out on holiday fun because of their parents' bad behavior. And if you get this phone call, hang up. A grandmother and the FBI with a scam warning. And saving U.S. servicemen and women after they return home. Soldier, suicide, and the local effort to stop what's happening.
On Fox 23 News right now.
A man accused of stealing a minivan and raping an 8-year-old daughter. Emotional testimony, the mother takes the stand.
Another local city cracking down on city employees texting and emailing while driving, but how do you enforce it?
Panhandlers around Tulsa, are they making it a profession or do they really need help?
People think smoking's cool and drinking is cool, and it's not.
More teens abusing drugs and alcohol. Why some Tulsa teens tell us they're not surprised.
Took out Christmas, took out Rosh Hashanah, took out Neil Armstrong and Albert Einstein.
Plus, the push to take some of history's most famous figures out of the history books.
Breaking news, breaking weather. This is Fox 23 News at 9.
This is a Fox 23 special. Oklahoma wildfires.
Thanking God for what they have left. It has been a summer for the history books, an extremely painful summer for many on top of an extreme drought, devastating wildfires. Hundreds of families lost everything they own. Flames moving across dry fields and through trees just too fast. One man described the fire as alive. Nearly 114,000 acres burned statewide. The fires leveled at least 380 homes in a number of counties. The fires blamed for the death of one person in Norman. The largest and most destructive wildfire tore through Creek County Friday and Saturday, destroying more than 200 homes. From Bristow to Manford and communities in between, neighbors fled the fast-moving flames. Homes were also destroyed in central Oklahoma, in Luther, and in Noble. The fire danger is not yet behind us. 4 fires are burning right now. National Guard helicopters are dropping water over fires near Wellston and an 800-acre fire near Lindsay. There are also 2 large grass fires in Pittsburgh County near Krebs and Gaines Creek. Right now, many people in Manford, Olive, other parts of Creek County don't know what their future holds. Fox 23's Adam Palooka reporting live for us tonight with the story of one family determined, Adam, not to let uncertainty stand in their way.
On on Fox 23 News right now.
The Tulsa Public Schools athletic director resigns after allegations of misconduct.
How Tulsa police are now getting involved in the case.
And then so when I got it in the mail, I thought, oh my God, here it comes. You know, this is going to be easy.
A woman signs up for what she thought was a secret shopping gig for Walmart. Turns out she was setting herself up to give away money, lots of it. And she's not the only one.
After getting taken for thousands of dollars, victims fight back against the business owners they say conned them.
They're robbing people.
And we confront the workers.
I'm Jana Clark with Fox 23.
Who left local families holding the bag.
Breaking news, breaking weather. This is Fox 23 News at 9.
A neighborhood association in Sand Springs is trying to get the word out about a failing levee system.
If the levee breaks, this area right here will be flooded with water.
What's being done to fix it still ahead.
Children will die because they cannot get methotrexate.
Plus, Oklahoma doctors worried about a cancer drug shortage. Meet one little girl who depends on it to survive.
Victims say they lie.
These are not good people.
They cheat.
I was devastated.
And they steal.
He got away with $10,000.
And they found out who they really were after they'd hired them to do work in their homes. What you can do to protect yourself.
Record snowfall not shutting this town down for very long. Reporting live in James Tully, Fox 23 News.
All right, James, and listen to this. We now know that Nowata set a new record for the lowest temperature in Oklahoma, plummeting to -31 degrees last night. Compare that to other super cold spots in the world. This really puts it in perspective. International Falls, Minnesota hit -30. In Stanley, Idaho, it was down to -11. Prospect Creek, Alaska was a relatively balmy 0. The temperatures at the South Pole actually tied Nowata at -31. None of that, however, compares to one city in Siberia, which fell to -64 last night.
On Fox 23 News right now.
It's going to be a big loss for Tulsa.
The Postal Service is one step closer to closing its Tulsa mail sorting facility. How that could affect the mail you send and receive every day.
Every district attorney in Oklahoma wants this cold and allergy medicine, pseudoephedrine, to be a prescription to help stop the meth problem.
Hear why state lawmakers keep rejecting the idea.
We're going down aisles checking dates on groceries.
I'm very particular about it.
And we found food that's overdue.
When people are in a hurry, they just buy anything.
It should not be on the shelf.
We investigate why this is happening.
Breaking news, breaking weather. This is Fox 23 News at 9.
More than 500 employees at Tulsa's only mail sorting plant heard today what they feared they would. The Postal Service intends to close the plant.
That's right, and it's not just bad news for them. The mail you send and receive will likely slow down. The plant has been on the chopping block for months. The Tulsa plant serves more than 1 million people, in fact. And from slower mail service to more Tulsans without jobs, this decision will affect people all across the area.
Fox 23's Adam Palooka reporting live for us from East Tulsa with more on today's announcement. Adam.
Clay, when people mail their letters, they usually don't think about them coming here, but this is where that note to your mom in Bartlesville first heads north. That cable bill heads down to Texas, and where that thank you note to your neighbor heads across the street. And the Tulsans we spoke with today aren't happy that soon those trips could be a whole lot longer. Wednesday afternoon, it was unanimous.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't like it at all.
I really wish it would stay open.
Tulsans we found upset about the Postal Service pushing ahead with plans to close its Tulsa mail sorting plant, a facility that employees say sorts 1 million pieces of mail each day.
I do a lot of business by mail, and it will delay, most of my mail.
But those postal customers know that in the digital age, the post office is losing millions of dollars.
I understand the dynamics and the economics of what's happening. People just don't use the system like they used to.
I don't mail as much as I used to, but, you know, for birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, it would be important.
Customers say this hurts Tulsa. Now they'd consider a competitor like UPS or FedEx.
It's going to be a big loss for Tulsa. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Plus, it's going to put a hardship on a lot of businesses.
570 Tulsa workers got the news today. that in a few months they could be without a job.
I'd rather pay higher prices and keep jobs than see those jobs go away.
But right now, the Postal Service appears to have its decision signed, sealed, and delivered. And the USPS has other cost-saving ideas beyond just closing sorting facilities across the country, like raising the price of postage or closing smaller post office branches, and finally eliminating Saturday mail service. When I called the Postal Service to ask if implementing one of those could save the Tulsa facility and all those jobs, they told me they wouldn't say anything until tomorrow. Adam Palooka, Fox 23 News.
The Tulsa Metro Chamber released a statement today about the closure, saying it would be unfathomable to lose this facility. We will continue to voice our concerns to USPS and to the Oklahoma congressional delegation that closure would severely impact the long-term best interests of business and citizens in the region.
But to ignore us when we come forward with a public safety epidemic and issue and to be ignored is wrong.
District Attorney Tim Harris not shy about expressing his disappointment with state lawmakers who refused to vote on a bill he believes would dramatically reduce the number of meth labs in Oklahoma. Tonight, Fox 23's Abby Alford has a follow-up on the debate to require prescriptions for certain cold medicines that contain a key ingredient in meth, pseudoephedrine. Abby.
Clay, fact is, you don't have to walk into the pharmacy and buy pseudoephedrine to make meth, but a Tulsa police undercover officer who's also considered one of the nation's top meth investigators says that kind of meth without the pseudoephedrine hasn't been around since the 70s, and it's more difficult to make. All of Oklahoma's district attorneys, including the very vocal in this issue, Tulsa County DA, says that if pseudoephedrine is not made prescription only, Oklahoma's meth problem may only get worse. It was a record number in Tulsa County last year. 431 meth labs busted.
I'm passionate about this because I got Tulsans dying.
That's something District Attorney Tim Harris says state lawmakers are ignoring by refusing to seriously consider legislation to make pseudoephedrine tablets prescription only.
They thwarted the legislative process of how a democracy works. And for that, I can't forgive them. I am very, very frustrated and feel betrayed.
But outside of law enforcement, many law-abiding citizens say cold medicine should remain over the counter.
I'm not going to pay a doctor $75 a visit to get a script for 24 tablets. That's ridiculous.
The Consumer Healthcare Products Association, the largest group to lobby against prescription pseudoephedrine, says with 63 of the 77 Oklahoma counties dealing with the shortage of primary care, pseudo-based cold medicines must remain easily accessible.
I keep a box of it both at the office and at home at all times because seriously, it can hit almost instantaneously.
But for others like Virginia Ingalls, easy access to pseudoephedrine made it too easy to destroy her life.
Lost my home. Let's shake and bake.
District Attorney strongly believes state lawmakers are making a huge mistake.
The dope of choice in Tulsa County is methamphetamine. If we get rid of meth labs and the supply of methamphetamine, our crime rate is going to decrease.
Now, I did talk to Representative David Derby of Owasso, who was one of the lawmakers that helped kill that prescription pseudo bill. He says that he's pushing another bill that would actually involve more tracking here at the pharmacy when people buy pseudoephedrine. Coming up on Fox 23 News at 10, I'll take a look at some of those states that have that tracking system and see how well it works to fight the meth problem. Reporting live in East Tulsa, I'm Abby Alford, Fox 23 News.
All right, Abby, thank you. In Oregon, passed its prescription pseudoephedrine law, meth lab bust reportedly dropped by 90%.
And now an update to breaking news that we brought you at 5 o'clock. Friends and family are mourning the loss of an Oklahoma soldier who was killed in Afghanistan. 28-year-old Sergeant Alan McKenna from Cleveland County died Tuesday. The cause of his death has not yet been released. McKenna was assigned to the 4th Infantry Division out of Fort Carson, Colorado. He joined the Army in September of 2004. This was his second deployment to Afghanistan. According to his wife's Facebook page, McKenna had 3 young boys.
Highway 169 northbound is once again flowing smoothly after a small hole about the size of a softball opened up this afternoon on the Bird Creek Bridge. The right lane was temporarily closed at 56th Street North for emergency repairs. Those repairs are now complete, and once again all lanes of 169 are now back open. A Bartlesville man is in jail tonight, accused of setting a mouse on fire. The Bartlesville Examiner reports Bradley Valdez is facing a charge of animal cruelty after allegedly lighting a mouse on fire and watching it run down the street. The Examiner reports Valdez told police he was trying to feed it to his pet snake, but that didn't go so well, so he took it outside and set it on fire. He's reportedly being held on $15,000 bond and is set to be back in court later this week.
Dozens of families out of their homes tonight, and one man behind bars accused of setting a fire that swept through an apartment complex near downtown. This happened this morning, leaving 4 apartments destroyed, 20 other units damaged. This was all at the Denver Park Apartments. It's near 17th and Riverside. Police arrested 56-year-old James Taylor Stout on the scene. Police say he told them that he got into a fight with his roommates and he set a room on fire, and then it just spread from there. The Red Cross is currently helping the affected families. The search is now on for a driver involved in a hit and run who left his child with a stranger. The wreck happened in Owasso around 1:30 this afternoon. It was on 76th Street North near Garnett. Police say the man who hit the other car sped away into a neighborhood near 86th Street North and 166 East. Now, once in that neighborhood, deputies say he just got out of his car, pulled out his 5-year-old child, and left the little boy with a stranger who was standing nearby. The man is still on the run tonight. Deputies say he could face child neglect or endangerment charges in addition to leaving the scene of an accident. The child is with his mother.
Accurate, dependable. This is Fox 23 weather.
Well, despite a few thin, high clouds that moved over us, we had an absolutely gorgeous day today. Temperatures shot up into the mid-70s. Warmest day so far in 2012. We still officially have mostly cloudy skies, but again, they're high, thin clouds, and temperatures, they're still above the normal high in Tulsa, 64 degrees, 51 in Bartlesville, 50 degrees in Salisbury, but 60 still around Muskogee. Now, overnight, we will see a few of those high clouds continuing, light wind. Temperatures bottom out at 44 degrees, so not too far below the normal high for a low temperature. Your Thursday afternoon is going to bring a cold front across Oklahoma. We'll talk about the effect that will have. Plus, look ahead to your weekend. It's only a couple of days away. 7-day forecast is coming up.
All right, James. Tulsa Mayor Dewey Bartlett is officially throwing his support behind Mitt Romney. The mayor says Romney has, quote, outlined bold reforms that will get our country on track and enable Oklahoma to be a leader in our recovery. Today, Romney unveiled his proposal for a permanent 20% cut to all income tax rates, as well as the repeal of the estate tax and the alternative minimum tax. He says he would make up for that drop in revenue through $500 billion in unspecified spending cuts. So following the trail recently used by Rick Santorum and Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul plans to come to Oklahoma this weekend. He's scheduled to hold a campaign rally in Oklahoma City Saturday at noon on the plaza south of the state capitol building.
Still ahead on Fox 23 News at 9.
We know how they're going to run against our candidate because it's the only way they ever run against any Republican. Call them dumb or call them stupid.
Ann Coulter is known for her headline-grabbing commentary, and now she's headed to Oklahoma. Find out where in the Tulsa area she's scheduled to speak and who she's stumping for.
It was kind of like, oh, crap moment, like we shouldn't have been there.
A snowmobiler finds himself on the edge of an avalanche. What happened when his ride went tumbling down the mountain?
Cornmeal, sour cream, baby formula, all food we found on the shelves that's expired.
I couldn't believe that some things were sitting on the shelf.
But that's not the worst of it.
I've seen labels on top of labels.
And this is what we saw when we came in. There was a label under a label. Is this okay with you? What grocery execs have to say about that. We found expired food on grocery store shelves. Do things get missed?
I would say so.
The health department doesn't pay attention to most out-of-date food.
It's not part of food safety.
But it is a safety issue. When it comes to expired baby food and formula, we found it all over Tulsa.
What store managers have to say about that.
But first, a mother and her child shopping in Best Buy saw something they certainly didn't expect on a big screen TV.
Math, my favorite subject.
In the halls of Bishop McGinnis High, one student wants nothing more than to be treated like everybody else.
I just like hanging out with my friends.
There is no denying this high school junior is something special.
Don't remember exactly what happened, but I think about all the people who were lost, and I'm thankful that I made it out.
We first met PJ Allen 5 years ago on the 10th anniversary of the Murrah building bombing. Then he was 11 years old, a tracheotomy tube just removed.
My mom had told me that when I was in the bombing, they found me on fire, and that my lungs had been burned.
5 years later, PJ is now 16.
It's hard to put into words.
The injury to his lungs still evident in his voice, even after years of recovery.
The first thing I want to do is learn how to swim. And that didn't take too long since I was so excited to get in the water. Now I blend in better instead of having a trachea on my neck.
We come here to remember. PJ, one of only 6 children rescued alive from the America's Kids Daycare Center inside the Murrah building. He was just 20 months old.
And I thank God that He's blessed me with the second chance of life.
19 other children, however, died that day. A fence on the memorial site marks the place where the daycare once stood. PJ and the other children who survived, now all teenagers. They get together every year.
We're all I guess you can say connected. And we stay friends throughout the years.
He's growing up, but what PJ knows for certain, there's a reason. He said God saved him.
I feel like he wouldn't have done what he done if he didn't have something planned for me to do. I'm sure it's something great that he's set up for me.
Until then, PJ just likes being a normal kid.
Give me like I was everybody else. They don't give me special treatment, and I appreciate that.
A kid with goals, a kid with dreams.
I hope to go to college and afterwards become a mechanical engineer.
And an experience that has shaped his life forever.
I asked her one time, my mom, and she told me that she thanks God every day that I'm alive, and that all that I have to worry about is just enjoying myself and being appreciative of the opportunities you have gained and not to take it for granted.